Hi, I'm Alex Bellis with IHS Automotive, and we're here today with a 2014 Chevy Sonic RS. Now, this vehicle has a base price of just over $14,000, and this one, as equipped, comes in at just under $21,000. Now, for $21,000, you get a whole bunch of safety and technology features, including the 7-inch MyLink mechless head unit. Now, with that, you don't get a CD player, but you get all sorts of connectivity features with either an Android or an iPhone. But let's dive into that a little bit deeper inside. Now, inside the Chevy Sonic RS, we've got this 7-inch MyLink head unit. Now, this is a completely mechless system in that it doesn't feature a CD player at all. Instead, we have an auxiliary input as well as a USB port located within this glove box cubby over here. And we also have AM/FM radio, Sirius XM radio, and then a number of different internet radio applications like Pandora, TuneIn radio, and Stitcher that all play through the iPhone 4S that came tethered in this vehicle. Conversely, you can also use your Android phone to get a lot of the same functionality there. We also have a 6-speaker audio system that sounded really good for this vehicle. We were really impressed. It's a non-branded system, but it sounded way better than we expected. Now, with this MyLink head unit, we get a really interesting HMI. So you don't end up with a lot of buttons here. You'll see that there's kind of some knobs down here for the HVAC controls, but in terms of actually interfacing with the system, all we have are these 4 capacitive touch buttons along the bottom of the screen here. We've got volume up, volume down, power, as well as a home button that brings you to this main screen. And that's really all there is. Most of the usage for this system is going to be through the touchscreen itself. There's a back button on nearly every screen, and it makes it pretty easy to navigate through with all the large icons and text. We also have a wide array of steering wheel controls. This is for things like changing source or changing volume, and then it also brings up the voice recognition, which works really well with the phone. However, there isn't a lot of voice recognition for things like navigation or the audio system. In that case, and this is why we're glad this vehicle came tethered with an iPhone 4S, we have Siri Eyes free. Now, with Siri Eyes free, you press and do a long hold on the voice recognition button, and that brings up Siri, and you can ask her questions, you can ask her to play music for you, and you can also ask for directions. However, when you ask for directions, it brings up Apple Maps and not the BringGo navigation app. So you don't get that same functionality with being able to see turn-by-turn directions on the map. Instead, Siri will just tell you turn left on whatever street, and you kind of have to just listen to her. So it's not the greatest integration, especially with the speech recognition, but it does work pretty well given the price of this vehicle and the features that it comes with. So lastly, I want to mention that the BringGo navigation app is available either in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. And it takes up about 3.5 gigs of space on your phone, but for about 50 or 60 bucks, you can download the app and store all the map data that you'd need on your phone, and then when it's tethered either by USB or with Bluetooth, it will stream that navigation info directly onto the touchscreen. So if I open up the BringGo app here, you'll see that there's a really nice layout of 8 buttons on the screen, nice brightly colored icons, so it's easy to see. And this is basically your POI menu. So you can go through and pick POIs, you can enter destinations, and on top of that, you can use your phone's data connection to open up a Google POI search. So that means that your POI database is nearly endless. Now, if we switch back to the map screen here, you'll see that you end up with kind of this basic 2.5D, 3D, I guess you could call it, perspective. It's really not anything too special, and that's kind of how we felt about the app in general. It doesn't really offer anything beyond what a normal smartphone-based navigation app would have. It's not really any better than Google Maps or Apple Maps or any of those applications. However, what it does offer that the other ones don't is direct integration right through the touchscreen. So if you really want to have that, it's probably worth paying the extra 50 or 60 bucks to GM to have that installed in your car. But one last thing to keep in mind is that it'll be really interesting to see how this BringGo app plays out down the road when things like Apple CarPlay or Google in the car comes into the market in the next couple of years. We'll see if this can really hold its own anymore. So with this Sonic RS, we ended up with cameras front and rear. In the rear, it's just a simple backup camera because this vehicle lacks parking sensors, So it works really well for backing into tight parking spaces or things like that. Up front, we've got a camera right above the rear view mirror, which helps with the collision warning system as well as the lane departure warning. This basically scans the highway in front of you and lets you know if you're getting too close to the vehicle in front of you or if you're starting to drift out of your lane. This is basically embodied by a beeping and a flashing light on the top part of the dash that lets you know when you're in the wrong. Now, in the subcompact car market, the Sonic goes toe-to-toe with things like the Nissan Versa, the Toyota Yaris, and the Ford Fiesta. But from a technology bang for the buck, it's really hard to beat the Sonic, especially with its MyLink system. Now, in addition to the MyLink system with the BringGo navigation app, we also get OnStar, telematics, as well as the Remote Link smartphone app. Now with that, you end up with things like remote door lock and unlock. You can turn on your horn and lights. And then you also get things like off-board diagnostics. So this is really great if you want to check your fuel level or tire pressures from your smartphone. And with OnStar, you end up with things like stolen vehicle notification and turn-by-turn directions if you want to use those. Now, in addition to all that, we also get all the safety features with the Sonic. With that forward camera, you end up with lane departure warning and collision warnings. And this is, again, something that isn't offered in any of the competition. So, from a bang for the buck standpoint, it is really hard to beat the Sonic, and we really appreciate it for what it can do. For more on this and other automotive news, check out ihs.com/automotive or subscribe to our YouTube channel.